Welcome to Subramani. Please subscribe. Please hit the bell icon. I'm getting reasonably, 600, 700 subscribers every month, but I'm not getting enough views. So whatever. Sorry, not cribbing. One question which I kept getting asked last week. I did a session for retired people. I mean, when I'm saying retired people, I mean really retired, 59, 60, about to retire to right up to 75, 77. So Motley group. I said I will not do a lecture. I will do Q&A. One common question which everybody want answered is how much cash should I keep in my house, or rather how much cash should be available to me during retirement, how much cash during retirement. So many were unsure as to what is appropriate. So I went down to saying what is cash. Cash means one thing is cash kept in your house, or cash which you can call and it will come without any questions being asked. Maybe your neighbor, your friend, your son, your son-in-law, whoever. Right, anybody will rush the cash to you at 3 a.m. That is cash, right? So I have friends who will definitely come to me at 3 a.m. with cash. Because if I can't withdraw from my ATM or something like that, what happens? I don't keep more than 10,000 rupees cash in my house. I doubt whether it will even be 10,000, or it would have been 10,000 before the salaries etc. were paid, and now it would be 2,000 or something like that. So it's not really that we keep too much cash, especially with days of UPI. So I have not been able to answer this question very clearly for many people, because each person is very different. So for example, if you are a person who likes to take a train, let's say you have a train at 5 o'clock, and you believe that you're in Bombay, you're traveling 30 kilometers to catch the train, you're traveling from say Navi Mumbai to Mumbai Central, and you believe for the 5 o'clock train you will reach at 4:45. There is somebody else who believes that he will try to reach, or she will try to reach at 4:15, simply because something could go wrong. You plan to reach at 4:15, but there is one traffic jam, something at the other, something happens and you're stuck for 10-15 minutes, then you're stressed, right? So it's already 4:30 that you're going to reach, or 4:40 that you're going to reach. You still have 20 minutes, but if you have kept only 20 minutes cushion, and then you're stressed and you don't know whether you'll miss the train, and exactly on that day the train will leave at 5:01. So then what do? Right? So depends on how much cushion you like. So most people like to have some cushion, but some people don't. Some people say in 30 years of travel I've never missed a train because of some problem, but once they could miss, right? So how much cash to keep? I very strongly believe in the bucket theory, which if you search on my YouTube channel, you will find. I'm not putting a link. You'll have to search for the bucket theory. So somebody can keep 3 to 6 months expenses. Now if you are a successful retiree with a nice portfolio, and you have 3 to 6 months of expenses lying in your house, maybe 1 or 2 months expenses. So maybe if you're spending 50,000 rupees, maybe 1 lakh of rupees lying somewhere safe in your house, typically like in the rice dabba or somewhere like that, or somewhere else. But that could be very useful, because if somebody has to be admitted at 3 a.m. and you think you need cash will work. You don't have to worry whether the ATM will work, whether you remember the ATM password. Remember, these are all serious worries for a retired person. What happens if he does not remember the PIN code for withdrawing money, right? There is to be an ATM pass PIN code. If you don't remember that, if your wife does not know how to use it, right? Those things, you're not staying with your children. There's nobody young. It's your 73-year-old trying to admit a 78-year-old into hospital. How are you going to do it, right? If she does not know how to, she does not know how to use your credit card, then what do? So first is to train your spouse into using all these things. So your spouse should know how to withdraw money from an ATM. She should know how to use a credit card. That is assuming that your children are not staying with you, and it is very common these days. So those things decide on how much cash you should hold. So somebody could hold 3 to 6 months of cash. Now I'm coming to the second part of using cash, which is held for expenses. This is not the tactical cash in your portfolio. You're moved into cash because you think there is nothing worth investing, the market is too high, so I'm not talking about that cash. I'm talking of emergency cash, which you'll use only for emergencies, which mostly means medical emergencies, right? Of course, if your car windshield breaks and you have to spend 9,000 for getting it, or now 18,000 for new cars, or maybe more, then that is also something which you have to hold. But that money can be held in a liquid fund, right? It need not be held in cash at home. So largely medical emergencies is what you hold cash for. So it should support your spending and emergency expenses, and it is a helpful transition to retirement. There's another problem with younger people. When I say younger people in a class of retirees, it means somebody who's 55. They don't realize how it is to move from saving to withdrawing, right? So when you are confused about that, because when you are in employment, if you get a heart attack in the office, you don't have to worry. Somebody will pay and maybe recover it from you as a loan, or say as a special case, we are writing it off, any of those things. Suddenly that whole corporate thing is withdrawn from you. So therefore cash is more important in retirement than it can ever be. It's because it helps in supporting your expenses, in supporting for your emergency, and it can give you peace of mind saying, oh, I have this cash, I'm lying in such and such a place at home. You know where the cash is lying. So again, to support spending and emergency expenses, so largely I do think today all your spending, suppose you're paying groceries, suppose you're paying for grocery and milk, vegetables, and you have 2 servants, you don't have a driver, then most of the transactions can be done on UPI. Right? So I don't imagine ever paying my grocer by cash. For a long time it has not happened. It is a credit card if I use a shop like a DMart, or it is UPI if I use a regular Kirana shop. 400 rupees, 300 rupees, sometimes you feel irritated using because your bank statement looks too long. So sometimes you pay cash, but it's not so much of a cash requirement for day-to-day expenses. As for emergencies, I also need to keep maybe 50,000 to 1 lakh, but that's a different topic. So yes, it also helps with transition to retirement. Suddenly you are in retirement and you are sitting at home and you need to know that how much cash is there, where it is kept, etc. So it definitely gives you comfort and peace of mind. These are the advantages of holding cash. So the question is, how much cash should I hold? So for some people, it is 3 to 6 months. These are the people who believe that they can reach the train at 4:40 to catch a 5 o'clock train. So 4:30, 4:40, if they reach, they're comfortable and they plan it that way. So if something goes wrong, if there's a flat tire, if you have to change taxis and things like that, they may not be very comfortable. But yeah, it is possible that 3 to 6 months money is enough, because the other money could be lying in liquid account, could be even in equity savings fund, bank account, bank FD and all that. That is a different cash. This is hard cash that is available at home. Then there are some people who believe that they need 12 months expenses and not 3 to 6 months expenses. I have no reason to dispute that, because it depends on your comfort level. Then there are some people who believe that they need 2 years expenses in cash, which could be cash equivalents also, like bank FD and things like that. Again, up to each person's call. The pros of having 3 to 6 months expenses, we will look at each of them. The pros of having 3 to 6 months living expenses is you have enough cover, enough to pay your grocer and all for about 4-5 months. So if you're managing your portfolio, it means you need to, let's say you have a portfolio, which means you have to raise cash 4 times in a year. Right, because you have 3 to 6 months expenses. At the end of the 3rd month, you have come down to only 3 months, but you believe you need 6 months, so you raise cash every quarter. So if you are doing a systematic withdrawal from your mutual fund, you say, I will withdraw my expenses every quarter. I don't need to need to remove the money every month. I don't need to do it, because I know that every quarter only I will need. So I have money for 2 quarters. So every quarter I will remove X amount of money and keep it in my savings bank account or in cash, whatever you decide to do. And since your money is mostly invested and is not sitting idle in cash, you have less drag on your investments because you're 3 to 6 months. The cons of having 3 to 6 months, again, the disadvantages of having 3 to 6 months is it can be uncomfortable for some people. If you're going through a market decline and you wonder why this happened. So again, if you go to the bucket theory, this much money, if it's lying in bonds and debt funds, ultra short bond funds, etc., then you should be reasonably comfortable. And having too little full cash and having to abandon your investment policy statement saying, oh no, it's a good market now, let me invest and all that, then you could get into trouble. And you may need to trade the portfolio more often, so that is not something which I find very comfortable. What are the advantages of keeping money for 12 months? Again, you need to, if you're holding 12 months money, you may need to replenish your cash bucket once or twice a year. Of course, if you withdraw every month, that means there's going to be less stress on you. So you can say, okay, my annual expenses are 6 lakhs, so I will have 6 lakhs lying in cash, but I will also withdraw 50,000 every month and just use it. This 6 lakhs will just be lying there. I'm not going to do anything to use that money. So that is one more thing which you can do. But this, depending on the quantum of your portfolio, if your portfolio is 10 crores, then 6 lakhs lying here or 6 lakhs lying there does not really matter. But if your portfolio is 1 crore and you're annually earning maybe 10%, so you're earning 10 lakhs for your expenses. So in that, to hold 10 lakhs in cash may be a drag on your portfolio returns. So see what is the total portfolio and how much you're holding, depends on that. And why would people hold 2 years worth living expenses? Some people like to do it, they're more comfortable. For people very conservative, people who have lost money in the past, people who have seen their parents suffer for want of cash, some of these people like to keep more than the people who have not suffered any of these things. So when you don't like to hold cash, that's a stupid thing to say, because you need to hold some cash. So maybe not 6 months, maybe 5 months, but you cannot go below 3 months. That is the basic minimum. Then there are some people that if they go and get a loan sanction against their portfolio or against their house, right, loan against real estate, then they believe that is also cash. Well, it is true, it is cash, but it is not in your hand, it is in the bank. So yes, you can hold some money in certificates or fixed deposits. Some money you can hold in liquid funds, which is also called money market accounts. So money market, overnight funds, any of those things. Insurance policies which are going to mature, which are closer to maturity, you will be able to withdraw some money, but not in a great hurry. This is not equal to cash, this is cash equivalent, right? So this is one of those assets which you can use. Of course, using a credit card, if I have a credit card with a limit of say 25 lakhs, then I know that 25 lakhs is always available to me. But exactly when you need it, the bank is capable of saying, no, since you have never used, we thought we will keep you only 15 lakhs limit. So these things are possible with credit cards. That kind of risk is there. Of course, you can keep money in a savings bank account, in your FDs, in your money market accounts, and of course, you can keep some cash at home. So all these combinations are possible. So decide how much you want to keep according to your own capacity and your own level of insecurity. Based on all that, you take this decision. Thank you.